Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of my Arsenal series here on FM20. Now, of course, we left off the last episode with a double 3-0 victory over Everton and, of course, Brighton as well. Since then, we've actually remained undefeated. We currently find ourselves in 4th place, as you can see there, but we do actually have a game in hand over the 3 teams above us. And essentially, if we win that game, we will go level with Chelsea right at the top, who are currently on 16 points. And they also haven't lost a game yet. Tottenham and Man City both have lost 1 game apiece. And of course, they have won the other 5. Yeah, interesting. Tottenham actually beat Man City, which I find a little bit strange. Anyway, our first game today, we will be taking on Manchester United. Let me just go over the recent fixtures after those 2 games. So we kind of had a bit of a stutter step. We had a 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace, and as you can see, they actually opened the scoring in the 80th minute, and I literally thought that it was going to be doom and gloom. I want to show you Pepe's goal here, because obviously it was the equaliser in the 88th minute, and obviously it was also a pretty important goal, but I'm pretty sure it was a relatively nice free kick, as you can see there. I mean, the goalkeeper barely even moved for that one. Let me show you it one more time. He just bangs it literally just above the top of the wall and straight in the back of the net. Not even the nicest free kick, but it's more just the fact that the goalkeeper didn't even move for it. And I feel like that was a pretty good way to get an equaliser. Anyway, the next game we managed to beat Southampton 3-0. This one also away from home. And as you can see, all 3 of our goals coming in the last sort of 6 minutes or 7 minutes of the game, because there was 4 minutes of stoppage time. So we had Aubameyang in the 87th minute. We had Quintilla with his first goal. He's actually our best player at the moment in regards to average ratings. And then, yeah, Gabriel Martinelli getting his first goal there as well in the 93rd minute. We then also beat Burnley 3-0, but this one was a home victory. We had Pepe with a penalty and then another goal for himself there in the 60th minute. And then we also had Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in the 51st minute. So good to see again, our forwards, our attacking players are really, essentially they're doing their job, which is the most important thing that they need to be doing. They need to be scoring goals. And of course, I feel like the midfield is kind of lacking. I think if I'm going to make a big purchase on a player, either in January or next season, I think I want to do something in the midfield. I think Guendouzi is really good, but I want to get someone that fits the roles better. So we could use Torreira as a box-to-box midfielder, and we might want to bring in another Regista that is more suited to the role with better attributes for what they need to be playing. Anyway, another thing to mention before we get into the game, Bellerin back from his injury, and also Tierney came back from his injury, I think about a week ago. He started the other game that I need to go over here, and that was the first group stage game of the Europa League. Unfortunately, Saka picked up an injury in this one, but he also opened the scoring in the 34th minute, and then, of course, David Luiz getting us our second goal for the victory there. But as you can see, we had Rob Holding, who's also back from injury. He started along with Tierney. We also gave a debut to Ceballos in there as well. And then, of course, we gave some game time to Lacazette, who hasn't really been that impressive, when called upon. We haven't been starting with him, so maybe that's sort of the problem. But we also gave game time to Willock and to Nketiah as well. So things are going pretty good in regards to the youngsters. We're primarily, for the second game of this episode, we will be taking on Sheffield United in the Carabao Cup. And I think I really want to try and play most of our younger players in that game. So let me go back to the lineup for today. Essentially going to go with our strongest lineup. Unfortunately, Nelson also picked up an injury, but he hasn't really been playing too well. So I'm kind of happy that Martinelli's coming in. He's actually played better than Nelson has so far. And of course, he is more suited to that inverted winger role. Partnering him is going to be Aubameyang up front, Pepe on the right-hand side, Xhaka, Guendouzi, and Torreira are our midfield trio. And then we're going with Quintilla, like I said, best player at the moment, over an 8-match rating at the moment for his games played, so he's doing really well. David Luiz, Mustafi, 2 centre-backs. Cedric's going to start at right-back. But like I said, we're going to try and get Bellerin back to match fitness over the coming games. He'll probably start that next game as well against Sheffield. And then, of course, Leno in goals. Bench day is going to be Martinez, Holding, Kolasinac, Maitland-Niles, Ceballos, Nketiah, and Lacazette. And of course, if we look at United's lineup, it's going to be very, very strong. We've got Rashford, Martial is actually doing really well. Of course, Pogba, Fernandes, and Harry Maguire down at the back. Looks like the left-back position could be a little bit exploited, even though Brandon Williams is still relatively good, even though I'm saying that. But he's young, so that might be an avenue for Pepe to sort of hopefully come down with some success, cutting inside onto his much better left foot. Anyway, this is going to be a tough game, a really tough game. We are at Old Trafford, so the pressure is going to be on, and we potentially could find our first loss of the season here. But we got Pepe breaking in behind here. Like I said, he hopefully will have that left back's number all day long. And if he does, then I don't see why we wouldn't be that successful today. Is that a penalty? No, it's a goal kick. Unfortunate. Would have been really nice to get a penalty in the first 3 minutes of the game. Anyway, we got Cedric inside to Pepe. Beats Pogba. But that's straight at the goalkeeper in De Gea. I mean, we've had a good start. United with a corner, and the header there from their centre-back just going over the top of the bar. But we are actually dominating. I say dominating. We're the better of the two sides at the moment. We're dominating possession, 62%, so I'm happy with that. And of course, we do play with a positive mentality, so you would kind of expect us to be trying to dominate that ball. All right, that was a pretty lackluster first half. I'm not actually that worried. If we could get a draw against United away from home, I feel like that'd be a relatively good result. And of course, with our firepower up front, we could always snag a goal late on, as you've seen by the recent games we've played. But we need to defend, and that is not good enough. Marcus Rashford getting in behind there. And I think that was Cedric who was at fault. And we've conceded just after half-time. Like 40 seconds into the second half. Alright, I think we're going to make some subs here. Bring Maitland-Niles on for Cedric. He's having a bit of a shocker. Pepe's having a bit of a shocker there as well. Let's go with... I think we'll go with Nketiah, and we'll bring him on the left. Actually, let's go Lacazette. Lacazette for Martinelli, and then we're going to swap Aubameyang out to the left-hand side. Similar to what Arteta is doing at the moment. Or at least what he did in the last game against Brighton. Alright, we've got a corner. Pepe. Not good enough, but Guendouzi will get to it. Can he get another cross in? He does. It's a bit of a looping cross. Pepe! Rocket into the back of the net. And we're back on level terms. Pepe getting his 5th goal of the season already there. And he was on a 6.4 before that, and he's now on an 8.3. So there you go. Now, usually in this position, against some of the lower teams, I would be tempted to do a shout to push forward, but Xhaka was in behind. One-on-one with the keeper, and he blundered it. Absolute chance there to go ahead. Unfortunate. And it looks like United have cleared their lines. Aubameyang might be able to do something with it here. That looks like a bad free kick, though. And Williams is that left fullback for United. It looks like it's going to finish a draw. Like I said, I'm actually kind of fine with a draw. I mean, it was pretty even. I'm going to say that I'm not pleased to the players because I want to be obviously winning those games. But I don't think a draw is the worst result in the world. Like I said, we were the away team, so it might be an excuse to some of you, but it's a pretty important point picked up. And of course, we were actually behind as well. So to come back on level terms, I think is good. It's not great because we want to be winning pretty much every game. That's my mindset anyway. All right, so what I'll do now is I'll skip forward the 2 days and I'll join you back for the lineup against Sheffield. All right, so let's get into the lineup here. So I've changed a lot of the team. So even in goals, we're going to go with Martinez. Left back, we're bringing in Tierney. At right back, we're bringing in Bellerin, of course. Centre back, we're bringing in Holding. Basically, I don't really care about this cup competition. I would like to win everything, of course, but sometimes, I feel like in this point especially, there's a lot of our main players that are coming back from injury, so I want to try and get them match fit as soon as possible, whereas we're also going to try and give some other guys, some younger guys, some game time. So Torreira's going to keep his place at the register role, but then going to go Maitland-Niles instead of Guendouzi. Willock's going to come in as well for Xhaka. He kind of can play Mezzala. He is more suited to an attacking Mezzala, even though we do play supportive. Martinelli's going to stay in. Nelson comes back in to replace Pepe for this game. And then we're going to go with Lacazette up front. We've got a pretty strong bench. We've got Leno, Mustafi, Kolasinac, Guendouzi, Ceballos. Ceballos might come on if Willock's not performing. We then got Pepe as sort of a last resort if we really need to try and get a goal back or whatever. And then we've also got Nketiah on the bench as well. But I think he played a under-23s game just recently. So hopefully I assume he'll at least be able to play like 30 minutes, even though he had a fitness test prior to the game. So I'm looking for a good performance. I want to win, even though I've put out a bit of a weaker lineup than our first 11 that's kind of been running roughshod over everyone at the moment. Of course, we are still technically, before this game, we were unbeaten. And that's not a good way to try and maintain that, as O'Connell has put the ball in the back of the net and we find ourselves 1-0 down 26 minutes in. They essentially do have 5 at the back. They've got the 3 centre-backs with the 2 wing-backs there. So that could be a little bit of a problem for us. Anyway, also, a lot of our back line isn't match fit. So that's also another sort of problem we've got to deal with. And of course, Martinez, definitely not as good as our boy Bernd Leno. But I feel like he can play the cup competitions. Maybe not the FA Cup. I'd probably like to try and win the FA Cup, even in this first season. Anyway, we're bringing the ball forward. We've got Nelson on the right-hand side. And that is a penalty. I'm not too sure who's going to take it. I would assume Lacazette or David Luiz. Oh, I can't watch. I can't watch, man. Oh. I had a feeling he was going to miss. As soon as I saw his name, I just knew. I'm pretty sure he's actually a pretty good penalty taker. But it's just David Luiz, man. He's just not going to score, is he? That's a good tackle there by Bellerin. Not even match fit, and he's putting in tackles like that. Yeah, I really wish Lacazette was taking that penalty. I probably could have changed it when it came up, but it does go away fairly quickly. As long as we don't concede another goal here, we'll be fine. We can definitely come back. Anyway, Maitland-Niles breaking forward with pace. Goes himself, and what a goal! On the stroke of half-time, Maitland-Niles getting the ball off of a rebounded corner, running the length of the pitch, and man, he smashed that. Let's have another look at that goal, man. I want to have a look. Of course, I do have replays off. If you want me to turn replays on, let me know in the comments down below. But boom! Top corner. Absolutely blasted it. Great goal. Alright, I'm going to tell everyone that I'm far from pleased because I want to win the game, even with this team. And we've conceded another goal 1 minute into the second half from a free kick. Martinez, he's not really good enough, is he? I almost feel bad just playing him, to be honest. I might actually take David Luiz off. He's on a 6.2 and he's looking like his usual self, a bit of a calamity at the back. Can pop up with an error whenever he wants. And of course, Sheffield are coming forward again. They do have some pretty good players. Freeman again, who scored the free kick. And Borja Valero. Oh my god, that looked like a very uncomfortable save by Martinez. And I think we're about to make some subs. I think we're going to have to bring Pepe on. I kind of didn't want to, but I think it's almost necessary at this point. Yeah, let's bring him on for Nelson. And then let's also bring Mustafi on for David Luiz. Never really thought I'd be bringing on Mustafi for David Luiz, but there we go. All right, I'm going to tell the boys to push forward as well. We need to get something going. And it's Sheffield with another corner. Hopefully we can get a quick release. Martinez taking his time. Really taking his time there. Oh my god. Trying to give me a heart attack. Don't give him the ball back. Don't pass it back to him. Let's go forward, please. Come on, Hector. There we go. Play it forward. Alright, nice. Out on the left. Perfect. Tierney coming down the left-hand side now. To Martinelli. Back to Tierney. Can he get a cross in? Goes all the way back to Willock. Herrera. Maitland-Niles, who's having a good game. Bellerin. Good cross. Ooh, it's cleared away. Martinelli. Someone finish. I don't know what happened there, but we've somehow been gifted a goal for Lacazette. The two defenders look like they were getting in each other's way. But we'll take that. 12 minutes left, or 11 minutes left, plus stoppage time. And it's been bundled over again, man. We are typical Arsenal. Typical Arsenal defending. Cannot defend corners to save our lives. Yeah, I think that one might have been holding. And we are going to lose our first game of the series here, unless... Oh, we hit the crossbar. Oh. Oh, there's still a minute left. But we hit the crossbar. And it looks like we're going to suffer our first defeat of this series here. Like I said, I'm not too upset about it. It is only the Carabao Cup. And like I said, I just wanted to get some players some game time. They need the match fitness. And of course, some of the youngsters as well. They need to get some more game time under their belts so they can develop a bit nicer. Yeah, there's only, what, 15 seconds left. I'm assuming the game's going to be over here. 3-2 loss at home as well. It's kind of a a bad loss to be taking at home. I mean, you could kind of understand it. But to be fair, we probably should have been level. If Louise got that penalty, we would have been. So anyway, we move on. Like I said, it's not in the league. As long as we can try and keep our league form strong going forward, I think we'll be fine. So we've actually got Villa up next. Anyway, in regards to the next episode, I think I want to do the Liverpool and Norwich games. So we'll have about a 4 or 5 game break there, and then go into Liverpool away from home as well. I think that'll be pretty cool. And then Norwich on TV as well. Yeah, guys, make sure you smash the like button if you haven't already. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you're a new viewer. And make sure you turn the notification bell on. Only 8.5% of you have it on. Please, turn the notifications on. Anyway, apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy and goodbye.